This is All Meat, Hold the Anchovies.
Listener, congratulations. You've made it to episode 4. David, if they're listening, if we have at least one listener that has made it to episode 4, then we are successful.
Then we are going to do an episode 5.
We will, although we don't know because we're doing all 5 episodes before we, release it. But still, if you made it to episode 4, it's you either like listening to people talk about stuff or you knew us from before and you're just being nice. All right, let's get right to it. I'm going to use the randomizer to determine which one of us brings up something for us to talk about first. All right, so here comes the spinner. I wonder if it makes noise. Let me see. Here we go. And spin. Oh, there's no noise. Come on, it's a free app. So it is David. You're first. Look
Good. So,
all right, David, what do you have on your docket?
I'm doing part 2 of advice.
Oh, are you serious?
I thought we were going to talk about the restaurant advice.
Oh, yeah. I was going, man, I don't want to.
Thanks for being so positive about
I didn't want another serious talk.
No. I love talking about restaurant stuff because I love telling my kids how to have a better life. Sometimes they think I'm stupid or silly. Sometimes they listen. So we're at a restaurant, a wonderful restaurant called the Fish and Pig. Fish, apostrophe in, and then pig, like a fish and pig, pig that fishes.
So fish and pork.
Yes,
well,
their slogan. Yeah, their slogan is catch and release in the grease. I mean,
that is crazy.
It is. It's an awesome place, and basically they're known for a lot of good stuff, fried food, of course, but their catfish is really good. So it was up by Gracie's college when she went to Longwood, and we're up there eating, me, her, and Davis, and we're getting our food. And then they bring the sauce, and I said, I love restaurants that offer homemade stuff, especially sauces and stuff. It's always better that way. And she goes, she says, what kind of sauce you want with it? I said, whatever comes with it's fine. She's okay. And she brings it out, and it's in this little plastic cup. It doesn't look manufactured. It looks like somebody dumped it in this cup. Yeah. And it's a tartar sauce, or it's a remoulade sauce. And
What?
Remoulade, how do you pronounce it?
I don't know. It sounds like a Star Trek alien.
No, it's not tartar sauce. It's called remoulade sauce.
The Romulans.
Okay, but it's not made by the Romulans.
Okay.
And now I've done screwed up how it's said, so I'm going to maybe the one person's going to tell me how to say it. But anyway, it's a homemade sauce for fish. And it was probably one of the best sauces I've ever had to go on fish.
Really?
It's like a tartar sauce, but a little bit different. And in fact, it was so good that when she came back to check on us, I pointed at the little cup. I said, is that homemade? She goes, yeah, it is. You liked it, don't you? I said, I loved it. She goes, I'll get you some more. She comes back with 3 more cups of the sauce. And that, because I gave Gracie and Davis a taste of with their chicken or whatever they ordered, and they loved it. And then the more we got talking, and they weren't that busy, so she spent a little bit more time with us than she probably needed to. But she was very friendly, very courteous, asking about our food, where we're from and stuff. And finally I said, man, I said, do y'all sell that sauce? She goes, no, but she goes, I'll take care of you. What? And then she brought me out a styrofoam container, like you'd put a Big Mac in. And there was about 12 little cups with tops of that sauce in that container.
Ooh, nice.
And Gracie's like, what? How did you do that? Or why? I said, did you just see how nice I was to her?
That's right.
And in fact, I asked her, because they had they had catfish and another fish. I said, which one's better? She goes, oh, honey, the catfish is better. I said, that's what I want.
Yeah.
People like to be asked questions.
Yes, they do.
If you want to get somebody's favor, ask them questions.
People love to talk about themselves.
Yes, they love to share what they know.
Right.
Ask people questions. And that was my advice to my kids. When you talk to someone, ask them something. Let them tell you what they think about something. Yeah. And you're going to get a lot further in this conversation. You might find out stuff you didn't know or may not want to know, but you're going to get someone's favor by asking their opinion about something.
Right.
But also, I've also taught them about restaurants And you mentioned you're a good tipper. And I'm glad because Gracie works at a restaurant right now and she works at a tavern place, but tipping is great. And I'm glad we do. And in fact, if you have the opportunity, tip with cash because they get paid sooner than they do with a credit card.
Also, I'm sorry. Also,
Oh.
I found out on Sunday night, I went out with some friends and we were at Logan's Steakhouse, right?
Yeah.
And I know one of the managers really well. And we were talking about tipping, and it was like, why do the waitresses and stuff have to tip out to the bar and tip out to the hostess, right? Well, I knew about that because I waited tables when I was in graduate school. So I understood that. And what she told me, I'm not going to get into all of that, but because I don't have a problem with that at all. I think that's a good thing. But she said, if you tip with cash, they don't have to tip out of the cash. They only tip out of what was done with credit cards.
They don't have to, but they can.
Right. But they can. Right.
Gracie works at a smaller place, so she does because she tends bar sometimes too. So she gets some of that as well. In fact, when she tends bar, she doesn't get as much tips, I don't think, because she's not working the tables. But what I was telling them about tipping was tipping is great. I like being a generous tipper all the time because every once in a while something will happen where, like, we were out to lunch last Friday and we ordered this wonderful place called Bubba's 33. They have the best onion rings I've ever had. I always order them as an appetizer, even the small load. And then we get our meals, and she brought our meals first. And I was like, I think it was Terry said, do the entree come before the appetizer? And we could tell the girl was new. And but we knew some other people that worked there, and she, I'm so sorry. I said, don't worry about it. If it's not, she goes, I'll check on it. I said, no. If it hadn't been fried up, then just take it off the ticket.
Right.
And I even asked Gracie later. I said, should her tip have reflected that? She goes, well, it could have, but she goes, there's probably 12 different reasons why you didn't get it.
Yes.
I said, oh, absolutely. That's why we gave her a full-on tip. We didn't care because, in fact, our meals are so big we probably couldn't have eaten it anyway. Yeah. But the point I'm making, and I know you got one, but the point I'm making is, I want the waitress or the server to come back to my table.
Yeah.
And if I'm the customer that they don't really want to talk to again, they're not going to come back.
Right.
So the tip is good, but that they don't know about the tip till the end. Right. I want them to feel like we're a table they want to converse with. Right. I'm constantly asking, especially when I started cooking and eating more than I used to, not more food, but more different food than I used to eat before. I always ask, I want it the way the chef prepared it. I want it the way it was put on the menu because that's how it was originally made, and I want to taste it that way.
Yeah.
But my favorite thing to do is say, what's not on the menu? What dish do y'all have that's not on the menu? And then you get a smile. Most times you get a smile.
Really?
So we went to this diner in Richmond.
Unless you're at McDonald's, you don't get a smile.
Yeah. If they don't even need to show you the menu at McDonald's. Everybody should know the menu at McDonald's. We went to this diner in Richmond, and it was just Terry and I. And asking about the burgers. I said, are the burgers really that good? She goes, honey, they're grass-fed. We don't do any processed stuff. It's like a real farm-to-table type diner. It was one of the best burgers I've had. And then I asked her, I said, well, what's not on the menu? She looked around, and then she goes, macaroni and cheese balls. She goes, deep fried macaroni and cheese balls. She goes, but you got to order them quick when you get here because they go quick. And once they're gone for the day, there's no more.
Wow.
I said, I'll take an order. She goes, you got it.
That's a heart attack waiting to happen.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I don't put it on the menu. And I did the same thing at Smash Burger because Smash Burger, I did that. And she goes, well, we do have like a chef burger. I said, what's that? She goes, it's got like everything plus a fried egg. I said, that's what I want.
Oh, I love burgers with fried eggs.
I do too. So
the fried egg on the burger.
So remember that, especially if it's a local place, not a franchise. Just say, is there anything you got that's not on the menu? Because that's kind of sneaky, but they kind of like that too, that people recommend that.
I don't know if I'll remember to do that, but that's a great idea. So the thing about being nice to wait staff, first of all, treat people like you want to be treated. Right. Sometimes you have a bad day.
Yes.
And you don't like it if people are rude to you and mean to you when you have a bad day. Right. So don't do that to someone else. Right. And these wait staff still only get paid $2.13, I think, an hour.
Yeah. Nothing.
And then they get tips.
Next to nothing.
And being a waitress is so hard. And you've got to keep on top of everything. and you've got to be smiling and kind and things like that. But sometimes people have a bad day and they're not doing very well, but don't yell at them or be mean or, not give them a tip. I mean, sometimes you get really bad waiters, so. I mean, sometimes you really do.
I'll be honest, I haven't had a really bad one in a while because we went to Texas Roadhouse, like Logan's, and we took a couple out to dinner because he had done some work around our house, and we wanted to he wouldn't take money, so we took him out.
Yeah.
And we went there and sat down, and I'm like, I'm getting a sirloin. It's not the big one, but I'll get the next one down. This, that, and the other. And I love steak fries because when steak fries sit in steak juice, they become unbelievably amazing. But anyway, but Al, the guy we were with, and Terry both wanted a baked sweet potato. And they said, and he says, you want it fully loaded? They're like, yeah. And what does it come with? He said, it comes with this and this. And they're like, what else? Well, it also comes with like marshmallows, and it comes with a caramel sauce if you want all that. And Al and Terry's eyes got so big because they kept asking. He's like, oh, you want it fully loaded? We're like, yeah. So always ask the ultimate dish you can make out of one dish, one item.
Yeah.
But I love now ordering, and Davis does the same thing. He's got a great palate for taste. He'll eat. He's like, I'm good with just a meat pizza, all meat, hold the anchovies type thing. Yeah. But he's like, can we get like peppers and onions on it too? Ugh. I said, you like those? He goes, I just like the different taste that comes with it, like a supreme. I said, yeah, we can do that. So we get a pepperoni sausage pizza. It's really good because you get a nice flavor profile out of it. But I like when my kids listen to me and actually do what I suggest.
Yeah. So I want to get back to waiters because they're not always good, right? So, I mean, there's sometimes if a waiter or waitress is not good. So what are some things that make a waiter or waitress not good? They don't come to your table and check on you.
Right.
Your water or your drink is empty.
Yes.
When I was doing wait staff stuff, if that glass got halfway, I would get in trouble if it stayed halfway. So if it was halfway, I was supposed to go fill it up. Right. What bothers me is if my glass is empty and I'm in the middle of my meal and you ask me if I want more Diet Coke. Of course I want more Diet Coke. I'm out and I'm halfway through my meal.
Well, in fairness, some people only want one glass of soda and then they change over to water or something. But true point. Yeah. My thing is when I have to put my empty water glass on the edge of the table.
Yes.
The tips, I picture the tips start minusing. Yeah. It doesn't. I'm still getting tip, but it's like when I have to slide the thing to the edge of the table for you to knock off as you walk by, then you need to watch me a little bit more. But I'm Terry calls me a flirt, and it may seem that way, but I'm also just one of those. We're going to be your customers today. I'm going to be your server.
Right,
we're going to be your customers. I just want to talk to them. Give them a chance to talk because nobody wants to talk to a server. They just want them to take the order and get away. No, make them glad to be there.
You are very passionate about this, David.
I am.
I'm very passionate about it.
I want people to have good days.
Yeah. Me too. Oh, so a bad tip for me is like if I'm going to give a bad tip, what I consider a bad tip, like a low tip, 15%. That's a low tip. So if you were terrible, you did everything wrong, I'm still going to give you a 15% tip because this is your job, right? Now, you didn't get extra points. You didn't get that 25% tip because you didn't do very well, but I'm still going to, tip you. I guess if they're absolutely terrible, I may not, but I mean, I'm going to do that.
Well, I'm sure you have stories too, but Gracie has 0 tip stories.
Oh, yeah, I do too.
Oh, that drives me nuts. Yeah. I want to go up there and smack somebody in the head for that.
Yeah. Somebody gave me like this little stupid sarcastic card that basically said, I was going to give you a tip, but I decided you're not worth it or whatever. I don't remember.
Wow.
But the other day, actually, I saw them put money on the table and then they started laughing and they picked it up and put the card down. So they just thought it was funny.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Never mistreat people that could spit in your food.
Yeah. Every once in a while, I'll go someplace.
I thought you were going to say every once in a while.
No. Every once in a while, I go into someplace knowing that I'm going to like give somebody a $50 tip. Right?
Really?
I don't do this all the time because I'm not made out of money. But so like I'll go to the restaurant and I'm just like, okay, I'm going to give somebody a $50 tip. So like I had a $60 bill and I left a $50 tip.
Wow.
And what's cool about that is you don't get any glory for it or anything because you got to leave before they, have a chance to say thank you. You want to leave. The only thing is, I'm trying to remember what I did. No, okay. Let me back up. I don't leave $50 on the table because unless it's going to be like on the credit card slip, right? Mm-hmm. Then I leave it and don't say anything. Well, I don't say anything anyway, but if you leave a lot of cash on the table, then the bus boys or the whatever could take it, right? I mean, if you leave a $50 bill, they may swipe it and go, I guess they didn't tip you. I'm sorry, but that kind of stuff happens. Mm-hmm. So sometimes I'll just go up and just say, hey, thanks, and shake their hand and then turn around and walk off as quickly as possible and put the money in their hand.
We've done that. Or we put the folder thing, give it back to them.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I like being one of those people that if I walk in the restaurant, the wait staff is going, ooh, I hope they come to my table because they're nice.
And that kind of bugs me when a server is not friendly. I hate to say that. And I know people have bad days, but it's like when you just, you know what you want? Okay, I'll be back. That's why I always try to break the ice. Like, what do you recommend? I don't really eat here. Then why do you work here?
Yeah. I don't eat meat. Well, then why are you working in a steakhouse?
Because they have good sweet potatoes.
Yeah. Speaking of meat, did you know? Well, I'll back up. I was at a restaurant. This is going to tie in really well with all three of my boys and their two wives and one fiance. This before Timothy got married. And I look over at this big group of people, and this guy has a shirt on that says, "Birds are not real."
Is this a conspiracy theory?
Birds are not real. They believe birds are secret drones from the government. Have you not heard of this?
No.
Oh my gosh, David. I mean, I don't want to be, I don't want to just list off all these facts, but this is from their website. Quote, "The birds aren't real movement exists to spread awareness that the U.S. government genocided," which isn't even a word, "over 12 billion birds from 1959 to 2001 and replaced these birds with surveillance drone replicas, which still watch us every day. To simplify, birds no longer exist in the United States as a biological life form. Thus, birds aren't real."
Does it say as of when? Like when that happened?
Yeah, it said from 1959 to 2001, the government killed over 12 billion birds and replaced them with surveillance drones. And they're constantly watching us. This is crazier than the flat earth stuff, which if you're a flat earth person, okay, fine. But this is birds are drones from the government to spy on you. Now, I know you have some questions, so go ahead and, ask me anything you want, and I'll try to do my best to answer you. Well, if it's on one of the three facts I have.
They must be extremely coordinated because the swarms of birds that we sometimes see, either there is a lot of illegal activity going on and there's 500 drones in that swarm, or that's a lot of drones.
I had never heard of this before.
I've never heard of that at all.
And I read that and I go, oh, check out that guy's funny shirt. And my son goes, oh no, that's a movement. There's the people believe this.
Oh, it's a young people thing.
I don't know. But
Who, Nathan or Joshua?
If you see, I think Joshua told me, it's like if you see a dead bird and all the guts and everything, that's just perfect replication of a bird's innards, but it's not real. Check this out. Bird poop. I know you're wondering about bird poop, right? Mm-hmm. You want to hear this?
Why does it only fall on cars? Yes.
Okay. All right. Bird poop was originally thought to be oil discharged from earlier bird drone models. After further research, though, this was disproven. Bird poop irregularly falls on vehicles in large amounts. Recent studies show that 87% of bird poop in populated areas falls on people's cars, just like you said. Why is this, they say? Confidential documents, David, were leaked in 2018, revealing that bird poop is actually a form of liquidated tracking apparatus. If you walk outside and notice some bird poop just quote unquote happened to fall on your car, be aware that you are now being tracked by the United States government. It is recommended that you clean your car exterior regularly to avoid being tracked by the United States government. So, David, bird poop is a way for the government to track you. Forget the GPS on your phone. They don't need that. They got bird poop.
So who's the inept goof that said the best place to put this tracking poop so that nobody sees it is on the windshield?
Yeah.
That's the best. Not put it on the top where nobody can see the top of the vehicle. Drop it right on the windshield. They'll never see it. It won't get cleaned off immediately. Oh, wow. I mean, of all places to put a tracking device, you're going to put it right in front of their face on the windshield.
Yeah. What about that time whenever I was leaving my fiance's apartment on my way to church and a bird pooped in my hair? So the government didn't want me to go to work that day? And they wanted to track me?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, because that was before 2001.
Oh, so that was real nasty
bird
poop.
So that was real bird poop. If it was before 2000. Well, I don't know. I guess there would have been a transition period. You can't just wipe out 12 billion birds and put 12 billion drones out at the same time, right?
I can't believe I've never heard of this.
Yeah. Guess what eggs are?
Oh, wow.
Guess what eggs are? The quote-unquote eggs we see in the 21st century are specifically designed by the government to appear indistinguishable from what eggs once were when birds were real. So they're just fake. They're fake eggs. So when you see a bird actually hatching from an egg, I don't know how they explain that. Maybe someone listening actually believes this. If that's true, okay. But maybe you could explain. Maybe you can get on our Facebook page group and tell us how this is real.
I've never heard of it. And it's so funny because one of the black holes I go into on Facebook or YouTube is conspiracy theories. I watch videos.
And you've never heard of this?
Never heard of that.
Dude, this is from an official website.
Oh, and that's still allowed to be up.
Yeah, Facebook and stuff will take other things off, but they won't take this off. There's no fact checking on this.
Oh, the government loves that because people are spending time looking at that instead of looking at other stuff. That's what it is.
Right. That must be birds being spies for the government must be why when you speak near your phone, the ads suddenly become what you spoke about.
Oh, don't even get me started on that.
Do you believe that or not believe it?
What? Yeah, absolutely believe it. You look at
No, you don't.
No. What?
You really believe that? You believe they're listening to our conversations through our phones or through the Echo device?
No, not listening. I believe that when I go on Amazon on my iPad and I look up an item.
Oh, well, yeah.
When I go back on Facebook, it's being offered to me on Facebook. Yes.
Well, yeah. Of course. I mean, that's common.
Oh, do I believe they're listening through the Amazon Echo or whatever?
Or your phone.
What's the little Alexa? No.
Well, that's yeah. Okay. I know people who truly believe, and I guarantee you people listening to this podcast believe it because just normal people believe this. I don't think it's true. I guess it could be, but they say that they were talking about, let's say they were talking about pants around their phone, And the next time they got on Facebook, there were all kinds of ads for pants. Is this true or not?
Sure.
That's the question. Well, I do have one more thing about the whole bird thing. But go ahead. What?
Well, I was going to say about Alexa. I'll tell you something a little spooky in that a friend of mine, one of the guys I cook with, his neighbor, either his neighbor or like 2 doors down, in the middle of the night one night, he heard, he's upstairs, or he's downstairs, his kids are upstairs, and he heard, Dad. Got up, and he looked at his wife. She goes, yeah, I heard it. He goes, I'll go upstairs. Went up to check on his kids. Kids are sound asleep. He walks back downstairs. Dad. And he looks
this is spooky.
And he finally realized it's coming from Alexa. And he walks over to Alexa and looks at it, and then the voice goes, yeah, I hacked into your Alexa. And he never found out who it was. So all the Alexa products got ripped out of the house. The internet, he said he changed his Wi-Fi router. He changed all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Of course, he went VPN and just, some guy hacked into his house and was looking in his house and was just,
Wait, he wasn't looking. He was listening.
I want to say Todd said he was looking, but I'm trying to figure out what he was, unless he was looking at through the computer. So I don't know.
No, because there are video echoes.
Oh, are there?
Called echo shows.
Well, when the guy walked up to the device, that's when the guy said, yeah.
Okay, then he may have been looking. But on my Echo show, I have the camera closed unless I'm using it.
Yeah, it's funny because we always taught our kids about putting tape over your laptop cameras and stuff like that, just to block it for the sake of it. And I was watching a show, and it was neat because it was actually about a CIA person, and they'd gotten hacked on their laptop, and then the guy said, uncover your camera. So to talk to her type thing, and she actually pulled the tape off. So I was glad to see somebody was smart enough to put tape over the camera.
Yeah. All right. One last thing.
Birds,
what about pet birds? Like you have a cockatoo or a parrot or whatever birds people have in their homes.
Mm-hmm.
David, you should not have these. Quote, not to startle you, but you have a highly advanced governmental surveillance drone in your house, watching your every movement, picking up every word of your conversations, and sending that data into the Pentagon. A highly advanced governmental surveillance drone. That's what pet birds are. You would be best advised to not bring up any matters you'd prefer to remain confidential around your, quote, pet bird, unquote.
Yeah, so pay no attention to that little box that's connected to the internet that you talk to and get to play music that comes from the internet. Just worry about the bird that's in the cage pooping on your newspaper.
I can't believe this. We need to talk about
I've never heard of that.
We need to talk about the flat Earth theory at some point. I saw a documentary about it where a flat earther actually disproved the Earth being flat. And everybody was all gung-ho for his experiment and everything. I mean, it was a legit experiment. And it proved that the Earth was round, or, that it had curvature. And everybody just decided, oh, well, you must have messed up. And, oh, well, you didn't read it right or whatever. As soon as it questioned their belief system, they totally ignored it, which is, pretty common. Everybody does that.
Wow.
So, but anyway, we'll talk about
that's funny because conspiracy theories has been something I've wanted to talk about. I just haven't dove in that pool yet. I've been working in other pools.
Oh, we should bring that up some other time. Some other conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely. What are some that you know of? So, like the moon landing was fake. I know that one.
Yeah. Well, even 9/11. There's Spare Change does one about that.
Dude, there are people that think that was fake.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how you think it's fake. The buildings fell, but they think it was fake. Well, they think the airplanes going into the buildings was fake.
Yeah. And then the drop of the building. I mean.
Well, the building dropped. But
anything. I mean, that it was man dropped, not weight drop. And then I've seen documentaries on what that flame would have done to that building. Yeah.
So then some other conspiracy theories. There's the one, obviously, the most well-known one, Do you know what I'm talking about? See if you can guess it. The most well-known conspiracy theory. The grassy knoll.
Oh, yeah.
Right? John F. Kennedy.
Yeah.
Did the CIA do it? Did the mafia do it? You know, why was Lee Harvey Oswald shot to death in the middle of everybody?
Depends on which movie documentary you watch.
I'll tell you a good book. Stephen King wrote a book called 11/22/63. This guy goes back in time.
Yeah.
But it's not really it's not a sci-fi book. But anyway, and he goes back in time specifically to stop the assassination.
I read that.
It's incredibly interesting.
I didn't see the series. I know there's a series. Isn't it
I didn't watch the series.
I didn't watch the series, but I did read the book, and I've already forgotten about it, but I read it.
Yeah. I think I've read that one twice. And I just said that I've read it twice. Not 3 times. Are there any other conspiracy theories? Let me think. Do you know of any more? If y'all know of some, put them on our Facebook group.
Yeah, I'd rather think about it and then come back and talk about them.
I mean, we don't. I don't
know anything off the top of my head. Like I said, I haven't looked into those in a while. 9/11 was a big one that I've seen a lot on.
Hey, Connie, you know any conspiracy theories? Just off the top of your head? No. She was a lot of help.
Yeah, I was going to say. I can hear her saying, no.
She's like half asleep on the couch going, would you please hurry up so we can watch our show? So we're watching a show about this Alaskan couple that he trekked 57 miles to claim a mountain, 5 acres on the mountain. And he, by hand, built his home and irrigation system and all this stuff. He brought his wife. She personally, he didn't do any of them. He did other stuff. She personally stripped over 2,000 trees.
Is this a documentary, reality show? Or
no.
movie?
Okay, so it's a reality show. Well, I mean, where they are giving their home away. They're giving their homestead away, and so there's 6 couples competing to see who is going to get their homestead.
Oh, what's it called?
I don't remember.
What stream is it on?
Netflix. Hey, Connie, what's the name of that show we're watching about Alaska? You're a lot of help tonight, babe.
Tell her she's not going to get any credit for being on the podcast.
Uh-oh, I'm in trouble now. She didn't look at me very kindly when I said that.
We got to get in there and watch Boba Fett because they're starting to put spoilers on Facebook, and I need to see the latest episode.
Yeah. All right. I don't know of any more conspiracy theories. If you know of any and you want to talk about them, facebook.com/groups/all-meat. MEAT. Right? All meat.
I'll give you a topic for a future discussion because I was going to use it tonight. Brand loyalty.
Oh, that's a good one.
Thank you.
All right, y'all. So check out our Facebook group. Thank you for listening. Next episode will be out. Well, it's all got released at the same time. So that's all I got. How about you, Dave?
That's good.
All right. See y'all later.
See ya.